Okay, sorry about that. We got some internet connection issues all of a sudden.
Welcome to Pop Culture Arena. This is Blair Bryant.
And this is Kimberly Bryant. And we've got with us back, we've got Danielle Rothweiler. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited. And she's our celebrity wedding planner. And y'all, we've got so much to catch up on. Excited. Here, I'll just take it from here.
Oh, yeah. So I'm really excited to have her back because she was our very first guest we had on our podcast. And yes. I'm just delighted to have her back. We definitely spoke like no about she is wedding, but yeah, she's gonna update us on what she's been up to. So again, tell us a little bit about your background first for those who aren't familiar.
Oh gosh, my background. Well, I've been a wedding planner for about 14, I think going on 15 years now. I'm based in New Jersey, and most of my weddings are in the tri-state area, but we go everywhere. You know, next year we have destination weddings lined up. This year we have kind of all over the place weddings. And yeah, so I've been doing the wedding planning thing for a very long time. And you've probably, seen me around on a couple television shows here and there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so super excited about just to see like everything that's been going on. Now, like I said, I follow you religiously. I see what's happening. And what was so interesting to me was not long ago I reached out to you because I was watching Up and Adam podcast and you came up about Sheena Shay's wedding. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is so awesome. And it was funny. And it came up and I was like listening. I was like, oh, wait a minute. And it was someone talking about how you had it was a clip from your it was from your TikTok, and it was so interesting, and it was just kind of like it was like how you brought up the whole wedding thing. How it's like you were the day of planning and all that stuff. But yeah, if you want to kind of like recap that a little bit.
Yeah, that was so
abbreviated version.
That was so funny to me, and it's still funny to me because people are always on my TikTok with like, "Oh my gosh, were you Sheena's wedding planner?" And I was saying to my husband this weekend, I said, I can't believe people see me in other places and they still recognize me from that. I said, but I guess if I saw Miami Girl somewhere, I'd be like, oh my God, it's Miami Girl. I guess it's the same thing. But yeah, just like the level that people still care about that first wedding and everything is mind-blowing to me. I mean, listen, I love it because it's been so many years and so much stuff got cleared up because obviously I looked horrible in those episodes. That was a freaking nightmare. But as the years went on, it got better, and it's been good to explain, listen, this is what happened behind the scenes. This is why everything went left. And there's only so much you can control. And when you are just brought on, this is one of the many reasons I don't do day of coordination anymore. Right. I don't have any control over the vendors that you hire or where you got them from. And a lot of times when you come in last minute, a lot of vendors are like, who are you? Right, I don't want to work with you. You didn't get me this business. I don't need to answer, and then you're kind of stuck holding the bag, and then things become your fault that you have no control over. And then it's on national television in perpetuity for the rest of your life.
Right, exactly.
And so, yeah, but it's just funny to me. It keeps coming up. Like, listen, that's fine by me, because now everybody has kind of seen what really went down. And
right, exactly. And that was basically the point of that clip, that they were saying that it was like that you weren't even in wrong at all. They were just saying that it's like she was the one that was just being kind of like the diva about the whole situation or beyond that. And it was really fun. That's the point that they were pointing out. But it was very interesting though. I thought that people, but yeah, it's like the Bravo, especially the Bravoverse, they still hold on to things like that. So I thought that was very fascinating. And I told them, I said, y'all, she was on a podcast this year. Y'all go check out the past episodes. And that's how I was like, I told Blair, I said, we have to get Danielle back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, Hold on, wait, you're breaking up a bit.
Internet. Oh my gosh, we're sorry. Internet is a little okay. I think we're back up.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so talk to us, like, what have we been up to, like, like these days, like within the past year?
Oh, I'm so exhausted. There's a lot going on. This is a really, really busy year. I have a lot of weddings. My wedding season starts next month, and it just does not let up until I get to the end of November. I have a lot of really very cool, very different weddings on deck for this year. I have a wedding that's going to be on a boat, which, you know, I've done boat weddings before, but it's been a minute. So there's like heavy logistics involved in all that. I have a wedding coming up where the groom actually plays in the NFL. So you guys will be able to see that in People Magazine later this summer. But
nice.
yeah. So I just have a whole bunch of different weddings. I have a bunch of different venues that I'm working at that I've never worked at before that I'm really excited about. But it's, you know, it's a very, very busy year, and we started booking ready for next year and have some really exciting weddings for that as well. No television appearances scheduled thus far, but but every television appearance that's ever happened, it's just like the phone rings out of the blue. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my gosh!
So,
I hope you get some. I hope you get some more television appearances. See, we're going to campaign. We are going to campaign for that. Let me slow down my talking. But speaking of NFL weddings, I know that recently
we had Jalen Hurts got married. Like, we don't really know the details of that yet, but from the Philadelphia Eagles, but he recently got announced that he had gotten married. So, but you know, so that's like a celebrity wedding that happened. But they also had to pare it down. Weddings like, well, Kristen Stewart just got married this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
She and Dylan married in a courthouse ceremony in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
And so like, do you have like work with like, you know, smaller like weddings like that too, or like?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny with COVID, I was doing a lot of micro weddings, and that kind of spilled over into 2021. And I think they're being pulled back a little bit because, you know, everybody was stuck in the house during COVID, and now like everybody has the guest counts for this year's weddings are, I don't think any of them are under 200. So, and one wedding is over 300. Actually, two of my weddings are over 300 people. So a lot of big weddings going on right now.
Okay, cool.
Got it. Yeah, no, that's definitely fascinating. So I wanted to ask you, so especially with the change in the economy and everything, with the stuff and the changes, has that, like, have you seen that? Has it affected like the business with the wedding planning? Like, have you seen like any drastic like cuts, changes? Like, I wanted to get your perspective on that.
Yeah, so not yet. It's funny, when the whole tariff thing, that whole conversation started happening, I was in New York for Bridal Fashion Week, and I wanted to talk to the designers about that. And, you know, one of the things I kept hearing from the bridal gown designers was like, listen, you know, we have problems for things like, say, French silk. It cannot be made here in the United States. Like, it can't be done. It would take years, decades to like figure out how to get that done. So there are going to be areas where it's impacted. I haven't seen it yet. I have heard that there are some florists that are getting ahead of it and are charging fees ahead of time and saying, okay, well, because of the tariffs, it's going to look like this. And I think it's going to be a very sticky situation because you have couples that have already paid for their flowers in full, and now they're going to get hit with another bill because of the tariffs. And listen, I see both sides of it. Nobody wants to. You've already spent so much money on a wedding, but it's not fair to ask a small business to eat those tariff costs either. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because I feel like every year we deal with something new. You know, one year, I think last year it was like, okay, there's this lobster shortage. And so then the market price of lobster went through the roof. So every wedding I had that had lobster on it, those numbers all went up. Or I had a couple be like, you know what, then forget it. We're just not going to do it. But every year there's some new, like, guess what? We never get a break in this industry.
Definitely, yeah. And it was funny because I didn't even really think about that at first. I was like, I wonder if that's like going to be like a game changer or not. But yeah, but no, but it's so okay. But actually, but so kind of like still dealing with the weddings, of course. But okay, so big trends I noticed that are coming up for the season are like could be like berry colors, reds, and things. Brides, do they usually go with the seasons when it comes to like their wedding coordinators, like their wedding colors and their themes, or do they really just stick to what they want? Like, how does that usually operate? Like, what do you see more of?
I find a lot of couples are influenced by the season. There's one of my couples that I was working with. We went through a whole bunch of different mood boards for what we're going to do for flowers. And recently they're getting married in the fall. And recently they were just like, you know what, we want to stick with the fall colors. There's a lot of outdoor aspects. So they want to go with that. I have one of my spring weddings is very influenced by the spring colors. But I feel like couples are either 110% influenced by the season, or they're like, no, we're just doing white, all white. There's a lot of white because it's timeless and classic. And I don't necessarily agree that it's timeless and classic. I think you can make any color that. I'm actually a big fan of color in weddings, but
same here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see though a lot of white, clean aesthetics this year.
Okay.
Hoping next year we get into more colors. You know, I mean, white's, it's beautiful, but I don't know. For me, I just feel like if everybody is doing it, I wouldn't want to be doing it. But
that makes sense.
But we're gonna
it's the same across the board.
Yeah, and it's funny because I see over on Threads, which is such an interesting social media platform. I see over on Threads there are vendors that are saying they side-eye planners who do the same wedding over and over, and I'm like, it's not my wedding. It's not. It's
right.
Like if that's what they want to do, like then that's what they want to do. So get mad at the people that are like, okay, this is what I want for my wedding. Why are you mad at me?
I mean, how you side-eye
somebody don't shoot the messenger,
right? Like, oh, they have the same stuff in their portfolio.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So have you ever have you had any like recent like crazy stories come up, or like wild things happen that's like I couldn't have made this up since the last time we met?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean,
things to think about.
I mean, there's a lot of social media activity going on with TikTok, which, by the way, I'm so happy that didn't get banned. But I think we're just going to constantly be on this 45-day cycle every 45 days.
I think so.
I mean, I don't care. Whatever, do whatever you want. Just don't take away TikTok. I don't care. But with TikTok now, there's a lot of conversation around that TLC show 4 Weddings that just like keeps coming up. And my wedding was on 4 Weddings back in 2011. And it's funny because that's what started my TikTok like blow up. Was somebody had done a video saying, does anybody on here have any contacts with people that have been on 4 Weddings? And I stitched that, and then that just became a thing. And there's this monster cult following for 4 Weddings, and it makes sense because it's such a good show. It was a
really good show.
They should bring it back. But recently there was a TikToker, and she's got like a bazillion followers, and she covers all the 4 Wedding stuff, and she's very deadpan, talks about everything. And
I think I saw that the other day actually.
Everyone's been sending me her stuff. I'm like, oh, she's gonna get to my episode, and I'm freaking terrified. And she did. So that's been a blow up recently. I feel like that's the closest to a celebrity roast I'm ever going to get. But it was really funny. But like everybody has so many comments on it, and I just have to wonder why TLC is just not picking the show back up, why they're not doing Where Are They Now? Like literally everyone is asking for this, and instead they're like, here's your 900th season of Sister Wives. I just
and I don't get that either, or like the the 98 like the
another spinoff, yet another spinoff, and like it's a train wreck. I'm gonna watch it all, but like it's just, I feel like with all the networks, there's no new people, no new ideas. It's just recycled stuff over and over. And, you know, over the past year, I've had a lot of conversations with TV execs, producers, developmental producers, all sort of stuff. And when I tell you, every single network is like, we're not interested in doing anything wedding or event related whatsoever. And it's mind blowing because all you see on social media is people begging for this.
Right. And that's part of why we want to come back and talk about weddings, because it's like that's all the rage. That's what people are talking about. So
it's a missing market that that needs to, there's a missing void that needs to be filled.
And I feel like and she does too. We feel like a lot of these television networks, they're missing it because these people are clearly saying it. It's like, give the people what they want. Exactly. Clearly, this is what they want back. And
I don't understand it. Like you could just go through Twitter and you could see everybody asking for this kind of stuff. Like, and the networks are just ignoring it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the same people have been on reality shows for the past 20 years.
I agree.
And then they're just like, okay, and now we'll pull from these shows and then we'll put them all on traders. And it's like, there's no new anything. There's no new concepts. There's no, and it's just confusing to me because the wedding space is a great way that everyone would watch it. And, you know, people are speculating, oh, well, they don't want to invest the money. That's not it either, because they're paying some of these reality stars a ton of money, going on these extravagant locations, and what they want is this over the top stuff. And if it's not over the top enough, they're not going to do it. So it's not a question of money or logistics. I honestly don't know what it's a question of, but over the past year, I've had so many conversations, and it's nothing but like, nope, there's no networks that are interested, not even the streaming services. And it is just, it's wild to me because it's such a hot topic at all times. It's an evergreen topic.
Exactly. And that's what I just don't understand it.
No, it's so weird.
Movement started. Yeah. Yeah, and we will, because like I said, it's like it's just everywhere, and it's I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, only thing because but this, you know, this back to kind of circling back to like celebrity weddings. Like, one thing I was kind of curious about too is that how a lot of times these days, especially whenever they get married, you hear about high profile marriage or wedding. A lot of times we don't know about it until after the fact because it's been a closely guarded secret. Like, case in point, Anya Taylor-Joy from the Queen's Gambit, she got married in New Orleans 3 years ago, and nobody knew anything about it until she posted on Instagram like on a second year anniversary. So that was really fascinating. Yeah, and because I even recognized the venue that she was at, and even Cara Delevingne was there too. And it's just interesting and fascinating that you didn't hear anything about it, like that it didn't seem to leak out. So, like, how do you like have an idea as to how they be able to plan this methodically, or do they work with you too to keep it?
I mean, there's some really strong NDAs that are put into place for all of these things, and confiscating like cell phones and everything else. You know, they make sure that they keep it tight and under wraps. And I kind of liken it to certain reality shows where some of them are, you get leaks on Twitter, you already know what's going to happen. So, you know, like The Valley right now, like, listen, I love The Valley, but I knew about this divorce months ago, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so they say that in the commercial, like, okay, you've heard about the divorce and now see it. It's like, so you have all these leaks, but then you have shows like Jersey Shore where there are no leaks whatsoever.
Exactly.
You know, there's nothing out there. That the new season starts in a month from today, I think. And no one knows what's going on that season. No, like they keep it under wraps. So I feel like certain celebrities operate one way where it's okay, we're going to put all this information out there. And then other celebrities are like Jersey Shore style with nothing is being tweeted. Nothing is going to get out there. We're just not going to talk about it at all. It's funny because back in November, Saquon Barkley got engaged. And, you know, that's been like a bucket list wedding for me because I went to Penn State, you know, I'm unfortunately a Giants fan, but, you know, I really was like, oh my gosh, you know, and he's been with Anna to one of the weddings that I planned. And I don't know if he'll be at the NFL wedding I had this year. We'll see. But I was like, I really want to plan this wedding. And I found out in November, but that engagement wasn't announced until right before the Super Bowl. And everybody is texting me and like, hey, guess what? I'm like, yeah, I know. I already looked into it. Apparently they want to do something small or whatever. I fully feel like we are going to, you know, they could be married for all I know right now. I feel like that is an example of a couple that is going to do something low key. We're not going to know about it until like a year later when she posts something like "Happy 1 year anniversary to my husband" or something like that. I mean, I feel like it's common.
I could so see that playing out that way. Yeah, it's very interesting because we were talking about that because I was like, how is it that some of these people, like even some celebrities, we said have like really big weddings and things or events. And nobody knows about it. And I was like, how do you plan this?
Like, you don't even hear anybody from, because like, I have plenty of people, like, I have plenty of friends who work, you know, like in the service industry off and on for years in New Orleans. And not one piece. So, I mean, like I said, it's probably the NDAs, obviously.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, not even one junket story.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't want to be the person that talks about it. And then not only do you violate an NDA, but no one's ever going to trust you again whatsoever. You know, like I personally happen to know about a fairly major celebrity wedding. I have nothing to do with it, and it's happening this year in Jersey. But I'm not even under an NDA, but I won't talk about it because I don't think I'm supposed to know, but everybody tells me everything. So, but like, if I say
Ooh.
something, then no celebrity is ever going to trust me ever again. So it's like, yes, guess
Oh,
what? I know
yeah.
about, and I can't wait for when it actually happens. I'd be like, that's what I was talking about. But you know, because you don't want to be that person that says something, because then if you're trying to be even like regular clients, you know, I have clients that are
Mhm.
very protective of their privacy and they don't want stuff out on social media. They don't want any of that stuff out there. And it's really important to respect that. Otherwise, you're going to screw yourself and you're not going to get
Right.
the work that you want.
Oh, exactly. Another celebrity wedding, this is not even, I guess on the whole topic of privacy that just came to mind was how Lana Del Rey surprised everyone and got married to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alligator tour guide in New
Shocking.
Orleans of all places, and they got married like on this property. And
That's so
the drones
wild.
caught the wedding, like some drones caught the wedding, and like you see your dad walking down the aisle, and there's some people are kind of thinking, I'm like, wait a second, look at closely, like with eagle-eyed vision, like, is that Taylor Swift there too? And is that
Wait, was she there?
well?
Oh.
Well, allegedly she was there because and then someone said out there, looked like they saw her and like Jack Antonoff, Margaret Qualley, because they're married. And so, and someone had like whenever I saw a few days, like maybe about a week or two later, on Demois, someone had posted that they actually saw them in New Orleans, like the three of them together in New Orleans, the very next day.
Oh, God.
So I think I very well think they were there, but the fact that she was again, that's something else just planned, and the fact that whole thing story just crazy.
It's so
to
wild
me.
just because it's like, because of course, you know, we're in Louisiana. This is like, she's in a tiny, like small town, like down the bayou where they talk. It's like you can barely understand what they're saying. They talk
It's
like
like
this.
basically.
Yeah, and it's wild
It's
to me. And
insane, yeah.
you would see pictures with her just chilling on a street, like on a street, sitting there with her baby. Or like, and just
Unbothered, yeah, just like blending in like with everyone else.
because that's what the people out there do. And I'm like, she is living in it, and she had her little look like her little dream wedding down by the bayou.
People don't really, and the thing too is, a lot of people in New Orleans don't, like, for the most part, don't really bother celebrities. They just kind of like, I mean, every now and again get them what to do, especially if they're drunk or whatever, and they're like, because I have some friends, actually a friend of mine, he and his friends were drunk one night and they saw Lady Gaga with her friend, like her best friend, and she was wearing a bridesmaid dress in the French Quarter, and they were bugging the hell out of her. And I was just so like face palming after that, because I'm like, you don't do that, you know, like that's her time. Like she's stepping right now, she's not Lady Gaga. You know?
Right. It's exactly. And I think, listen, like there's some celebrities that they want their privacy, and you know, because you see these paparazzi shots of, especially some reality stars, where it's like, all right, so which one of you called? Because they're not just hanging out, you know,
Right, yeah.
like they're not just hanging out there waiting for you to whatever. Like unless you're Taylor Swift, you know, the paparazzi's not following you around like that. I think whenever she gets, I would be very curious to see what happens. I mean, I assume she's going to marry Travis, right?
I
Travis,
think so too.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's interesting because just where football season is right now, you know, anytime I do any football NFL weddings, they're either in March or they're in June. And it's just that works the best with their season. And I honestly expected there to be some sort of announcement after the Super Bowl, and there's not. So I can't imagine her doing something low key. But if I woke up one morning and on Twitter it was like Taylor Swift gets married and surprise ceremony, I'd be like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know. I'm so curious about it. It's so funny. I am all into. I'm invested in that relationship. I've never been one of those people to be like so invested in a celebrity relationship. Some of them here and there, but for that one, for saying I wasn't really a huge fan of hers. But over the years, just like her personality, just who she is as a person, is what drew me to become a fan of hers. And then like now this relationship, I'm like, you go Taylor. I'm like, I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
like he's the one like the most.
Yeah,
I'm all for it too.
Yeah, no, they're really cute together. But I'm curious to see where that's going to go. Like big wedding that everybody knows about, or surprise, Taylor Swift got married in Italy last week. You know, like
I know.
Either or is a possibility.
I know, because it's like I feel like he may want like a big wedding, but I feel like she may want something semi, like kind of like very, very secretive. I don't know. I'm curious. It's so funny. Look how invested I am. Real possibility.
Right.
But I don't know. It was just so cute when I saw them. Like whenever she got done performing, it was like was it Rio de Janeiro or whatever? And he was backstage and she was just running and stuff. It was so cute.
Yeah. I mean, he lights
love.
up. The way he looked at her is just like, That's how everybody wants your partner to look at you. It's a really cute connection. Yeah.
It's I agree. There is such a cute couple. Such a cute couple. But so okay, do you have like any like wedding plans or like wedding like do's and don'ts that you can give for like any of our audience or people, especially for anyone heading like into the summertime season?
First and foremost, hire a planner. Obviously, I'm going to say that it's just I hear so many horror stories of things that could have been fixed if there was a planner involved in the first place. I would say give yourself time. I'm seeing longish engagements, so like a year, 2 years. And I think you need at least a year to plan a wedding so you have, especially if it's going to be one of the more popular months, give yourself some time so that you can find the venue you want, find the vendors you want, and you're not just restricted to whatever is available. I will say if you are thinking of having a destination wedding in 26, you better get on that right now. I'm planning 2 destination weddings for next year. And when I tell you the amount of dates that are not available, I have never seen anything like this in my career.
Wow.
I fully suspect this is a trend for next year. When I tell you the locations I have been working with, Bermuda, Rhode Island, Connecticut, the Hamptons, South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina, I get so many, well, this is all we have. Nothing is available.
Wow.
It's one after the other. It's blowing my mind. I had an inquiry recently asking me like, oh, hey, I want to do a destination wedding for next year in Italy. Are you working on 2026 weddings right now? I'm like, if you want to we need to be on the phone right now because I've never seen this. Like, and they're just, everyone is booked. Like, oh yeah, no, we don't have any Saturdays in between May and October. Would a November date work? What? Like I have never seen this before. So
I think with the economy, that wouldn't be the case, but
yeah, I feel like it's funny because the economy, I don't know that it affects the wedding industry. People still want to have the wedding that they want. They'll find a way to.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, think about it. People find a way to get Taylor Swift tickets, Beyonce tickets. They'll find a way to get
and that's the other thing. When people like start screaming about everything is so expensive, I'm like, yeah, have you gone to a single concert ever? You know, people spend money on what they want to spend it on, and the economy is not going to affect those people that are like, I'm going to have this wedding. I don't care if I have to go into debt in order to do it. But it's wild to me how much the destination market is booking up for next year. So if you so like if you want the destination wedding,
then I want a
now
that I think about it, more people that I know of and like wedding invites have actually, because now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm actually late because I need to get my passport like right now. I've got a wedding in Italy in September myself. I'm supposed to go to. So and I started, we already getting our hotel and everything together. So I just have to work on my passport because Kim gets, she's behind. But you're right. It's like I've like all the weddings I've had, like invites more recently, they've all been destination weddings.
Yeah. There was actually one reality star that I was talking to. I'm not working with her because she's going to work with somebody that is there, but she's having an Italy wedding. And I mean, it's just been, Italy seems to be a very hot spot for next year. But apparently so is Bermuda and Rhode Island and Connecticut and I've never seen anything like this. At first I was getting some emails like, oh, we don't have anything available. I'm like, whatever. I have 50 other venues to talk to. And it was just one after the next. And I'm like, what is going on right now?
Crazy.
Do you think social media has a lot to do with it? With like all the like the TikToks and the Instagrams and like the reels and
visuals, I think so.
That could definitely be it because I definitely see like content creators at weddings are becoming more and more popular. I fully support having a content creator at a wedding. Obviously, like I love content. It should not replace a real video team or a photographer. I think it's great to have it in addition to. But a lot of the content creators that I see and that I work with, they're in Europe. They're all over the place. They are in different locations. So you could be right. It could just be that people are constantly seeing this on their For You page or wherever and being like, okay, this is what I want to do. As somebody that was talking to me about potentially having Italy for next year, I was like, so is this your first choice? And she's like, it's my first, second, third, and fourth choice. I'm like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
it's something people also have to keep in mind is destination weddings are expensive. Just because you're cutting the guest list doesn't mean it's cheap. Like if you want to get married in Italy, that's a 6-figure wedding, like period. That's
Right.
that's
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and destination weddings are all going to be 6 figures. And I think there's this misconception of you can save money. Like, yes, you can save money because less people will come, but there's so
What?
many other
Yeah.
expenses that, you know,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, because I know like an old someone I used to work with actually what she did was that she had like a an engagement party, and then a few weeks later she and her fiance and her son they went to Portofino, and she had like a small little intimate ceremony with just 3 of them, and the pictures from that were beautiful. It was phenomenal, and
I
I thought
bet.
that was actually a really good way to go with that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's never a good idea to try to do a destination wedding, especially Europe, on a budget. It's just if that's the case, like you could still
Yeah.
get those vibes here.
I wouldn't. Right. I wouldn't think so.
All right, you guys are breaking up.
Oh gosh, I know. I'm so sorry. I can't believe our internet connection like
It's
this.
been so bad. This has been unusually bad this morning.
I know it is. Yeah, it's never like this. It's just,
That's okay.
oh my
Apparently,
gosh, I
most
know.
of Europe is in a blackout right now. So
The good thing is we're recording, so we like.
right.
But, oh, that's the other thing. Too. Oh, with the weddings, I have very interesting question. So wedding etiquette for dressing, because I see lately I've been seeing like so many controversy with whether the bride is wearing. I mean, sometimes I don't even think it's that bad where they're saying, oh, she's showing up the bride or the guests like what they're supposed to be wearing, like wearing like do you think there's like specific guidelines, or do you ever see like fights break out with like between like the brides and like the bridesmaids or like what's supposed to be worn, or what like any like feuding on the outfits or like the dressing and or like the chaos behind it? Do you see any of that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the number one rule is don't wear white, cream, beige, any version of white. Like you don't wear that to a wedding. Don't even wear that to a bridal shower. I've seen people on TikTok with like, oh, but if it's a spring bridal shower, I'm like, no, but you're not the bride. Like there's so many other colors you can choose
Right,
from. Like
right.
why isn't it your natural instinct to be like, oh, I shouldn't wear white because I'm the bride. Like that's like I can't help those people because that should be your instinct. But one of the things that I'm seeing couples do, and I love this, and so many people are like, this is so high maintenance. No, it's not. Is when they send out their invitations, they're letting their guests know, like, these are our colors. This is what we would love to see you in.
I guess that's an excellent
And
idea.
it's not them saying, like, go out and buy something in this color. It's letting
Yeah.
them know, like, these are great colors to choose from. And I firmly believe in giving guests as much guidance as possible because you can write black tie on an invitation and people are still going to call you. So what does black tie mean? As if, you know, the phone they're calling you from
Right.
doesn't have Google on it. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Exactly.
so I think these color guides are really, really helpful. I'd like to see more couples doing this because
Right.
you know, I would love to know because I always ask if I'm invited to a wedding, what color are the bridesmaids wearing? Because I don't want to wear that color, you know.
Right.
But if you give like the actual palette in advance, and that's great. I think people are like flipping out on TikTok and social media when they say like the mother of the bride, oh, she's upstaging the daughter. Here's the thing.
Mhm.
We don't know that relationship. If the
Right.
daughter said like, no, I want my mom to look like a queen and then
Mhm.
that's all that matters. You know, as long as it's cool with the couple, then you know what everybody says on social media is irrelevant because like you don't know those people, so you don't know what their conversation was, what they had to say. And I work a lot with my couples on with the moms, like what are you looking for, what's going to work, and I have these open and transparent conversations, sending them places, getting them a dressmaker, whatever it is that they need. And some moms are really over the top with what they're wearing, but that's because their daughters was like, yes, mom, I want you to wear this. So, you know, as long
Right.
as that conversation is happening, then that's all that matters.
For sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense because
Yes.
I for some of the ones I had seen, I couldn't see the big deal out of it. I was like, I don't understand why. I was like, first, I don't see why it was really the public's business, but I was like, I thought that because one of them was a family that was out of Louisiana and like it had gone viral. It was us, one was, I think, on Good Morning America, maybe. The mother of the bride was on there. And it was insane. I was like, I thought she looked stunning. I was like, I couldn't believe that people like made such a big deal about it. But I because I noticed the wedding that I'm going to, they mentioned that it's gonna be like in a Catholic church, and just for the women, just to, out of respect, to make sure their shoulders are covered. And so, and that is a black tie formal. So I thought that was like pretty good. Then I was like, okay, I don't really know what color to wear. So I'm just gonna kind of like I keep harassing the bride a little bit and stuff, but I'm gonna try to like figure it out. But yeah, I definitely knew not to wear white. So that was the thing. That was kind of like Italy. I was like, is it different, you know? But like, because I know different countries, different things and stuff. But I'm looking forward to it though. But like, are like, so is it something that's usually standard across the board, do you find, or like, is it?
I mean, I feel like the general rule is just don't wear white or any colors like that. I think that if you want to wear black, you can wear. If it's a black tie, you absolutely can wear black. I don't know where this sudden hatred of long black dresses came from, because I just, that's formal. I don't get where
right.
you can't do anything right. Like you wear a black dress and it's like, oh my God, what are you going to a funeral? And then if you wear, you know, like a green dress and it's like, why are you trying to stand out? And I think something that people need to ask too is like, culturally, what kind of culture is this wedding? Because there are certain colors that are offensive. Like there are certain weddings that if you do wear black, it is offensive. So it's, again, it's why I push so much for couples to be very transparent on their wedding website, whatever. Like, these are the colors that we want you to wear. These are the colors we want you to avoid. Like, put all that out there. And listen, anybody that says that's high maintenance, they're wrong. They're just wrong, because this is like helpful information. You wouldn't, you know, these are like the directions. If you get something to put together and it doesn't come with directions, you're going to be mad. So these are the directions. Follow the directions. And it just avoids a big headache and stress. I mean, you're always going to have guests complaining about it, because wedding guests, and that's it. So, but it's good to just know like what the culture is and to ask questions. And I just hope more and more couples give these guidelines out.
Definitely. Oh my goodness, that was really good. Great. And
you're breaking up again.
Sorry, we're about to get ready to wrap up here. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We're gonna edit. Like, this is wild. It's like our internet's never this bad. Okay, but anyway, that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll get ready to wrap up here. Okay. Yeah, I'll edit and stuff, everything. Okay, so yeah, where can our guests find you? Let us know where we can like find you, follow you, and keep up with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, my website is rothweilereventdesign.com, and you can find me on pretty much every social media channel. I'm very active on TikTok because I love TikTok, and you can just look up Rothweiler Event Design. You will find me. I'm the same name under Instagram, Threads. It's all there. And I'm really, really responsive and active on social. So I would say half of the clients that I have now, they found me on TikTok. So that's probably, it's a good place to find me. Plus, I'm always sharing like wedding planning tips of things to do, things not to do, fun behind the scenes stories. So that's my favorite platform. I pray it never goes away.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because we were actually talking about that. That's how we mentioned how that's how you found clients, or clients found you, was through the comment sections too. So it's like or like the social media. So we thought that was like really awesome. So, but yes, we're going to promote you like crazy. Continue to, because I would love you. Like, you're so much fun. You should be on TV. I think you need your own reality like series or something.
I would love somebody to do that. That would be great. I mean, I feel like I know so many people in the industry, and it's like,
I know, we gotta get the right door. We've got to get the right door to open. We're gonna help you push for that. Yes. Oh yeah. Manifestation. I'm really good at that. Well, thank y'all so much. We're gonna leave the links and everything on the YouTube website and in our website as well, and the social media links. But yeah, anything you want to conclude with?
I mean, we're just so happy to have you again, because like I said, you are our very first guest, and like that was we had so much fun last time and this time as well. So like, always a pleasure having you.
Yeah, I know. I love coming on. It's fun.
Yeah, like best of like luck and wishes to you and all the success.
Yes, for sure. And again, people like audience, like she's like, reach out to her if y'all want any like advice, plans, like she's to plan your wedding. she like responds to you ASAP.
yeah,
Like she's awesome. So yeah, thank you again. And don't forget to like, follow,
Yeah.
subscribe, share. Please like give us a review, 5-star review on Apple. We're on there too, Spotify. It would help us out with the algorithm. So thank y'all so much. Don't forget to share with friends.
Yeah, comment, subscribe.
All right, y'all take care.
Bye.